Guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of SoCal Watch Reviews. This is Miguel. This is episode 19. My boy P in Ohio. How's it going?
Yo, what's going on, people? Your boy P Rouse back in the building.
And P, we got a very special guest. This man, if it wasn't for him, you and I would have never known each other. Is that correct? Right?
That's absolutely correct. He deserves all the credit.
Not only that, but thanks to him, I got personally like 70, 80 subscribers on my YouTube channel. It was crazy. And I know P got some more too. So
I think I got about 72. So.
Dang. So seriously, much respect to this gentleman right here. His name is Dave. Dave, how's it going?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's the first time talking to you guys live like this. So yeah, this is great.
Yeah, it's awesome. So for those listeners don't know who you are, do you mind telling them what you do and kind of a brief history of who you are?
Yeah, sure. I run the Just the Watch YouTube channel. So I've been on YouTube for about 2 years now, and that's about when I started watch collecting. So I'm really new at this. I think you guys are both a lot more experienced than I am. But I kind of have always been interested in like video production and editing and stuff. I just sort of dabbled in a lot. And then when I started getting interested in watches too, I actually have a younger brother who's on YouTube, and he sort of really encouraged me to give the YouTubing thing a try and see how it goes. So I originally thought, I'll try and do it for a year and try a 1 year sort of test thing. And I wanted to figure out how it works and everything. And just started running with it and really enjoyed it. Started seeing the channel grow. And I remember like when I first started, it was just so tough to try and get subscribers. And I was always like, if I could just get over this kind of initial hump, maybe it'd be easier to go. So when I got a little bit bigger, I think I was still a pretty small channel when I did that. But I did a video about other small YouTubers that I was watching that were just getting started that I encourage people to watch. And I'd been found you guys on YouTube, and I enjoyed your channel, so I recommended them. And I was so cool to hear you guys doing the podcast together too. So I'm glad it's all working out good.
Well, thank you so much, Dave. And
absolutely,
honestly, 2 years collecting. I thought you were like a seasoned collector, because the way you you speak about watches and your knowledge is crazy. And you're up to almost 9,000 subscribers. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm up to, I think right now, just about 9,500 actually.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, the channel grows in weird spurts. I go through the bumps where like nothing happens, and then for whatever reason, YouTube will like one of my videos. So my latest one's like getting a lot more views than anything I normally do, and then I usually get a lot of subscribers in. So yeah, it's kind of fun. It's a little bit of a roller coaster, but yeah, right now I got one good video, so that's fun.
Yeah. So basically, before we start doing the questions, your channel, basically your mantra is building the ultimate collection one affordable piece at a time. Is that correct? That's kind of
that's right.
Okay, cool. So you're kind of up all around our realm, because we don't really do luxury. We like the more affordable stuff because for obvious reasons. I mean, but that's cool, man. That's why I really enjoy you as a person, the channel, and it just really, when I found you, your channel really spoke to me, because I was like, all right, cool, this guy's speaking my language, like affordable pieces, and you could see the good and the affordable, right, P? I mean, you love Timex.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, before we move to other things, what are you guys wearing? Wrist check. Dave?
All right. I've got my Citizen Nighthawk on, and that was the first kind of real watch that I really researched and invested some money in. And today I'm doing I live in Japan. I don't know if I mentioned that, but so we're in radically different time zones. I need to keep track of what time I was supposed to be on for this. And the Nighthawk has a great GMT feature, so I put that one on for today.
That's super cool. I like it. P?
I'm still rocking the Hamilton khaki.
Ooh, honeymoon face.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes, sir. That's super cool. I noticed you changed the strap on it, huh? Looks nice.
Yeah, and I just changed the strap to another one too. So.
What do you have? That fuchsia color, that pink one? I'm just kidding.
No,
matches your skin tone so well. Just kidding.
I wonder.
Hey, you love Prince. Okay. Well, that's not fuchsia. That's more purple. But
no, it's purple.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, today, in honor of Dave, I am rocking it's a JDM piece, but not really, because everybody has it all over. But it's a SARB 033, the Seiko Love this thing, man. It's like seriously one of my daily
Nice.
daily watches, and I recommend it to anybody. I mean, they're pretty affordable and they look super nice. People that don't really know watches always think that this is like a really expensive watch. Like, oh wow, that looks really nice, really expensive, especially with the exhibition case back. I'm like, no, actually, it's in the 350 range. So I mean, it's not cheap, but it's not expensive, you know. So
Right.
so that's what I got. But let's get into the questions. P,
All
you want to
right.
start it
So
off?
let's go. So what got you into watches? And you kind of explained in the beginning, like you started the YouTube channel, but what was actually like the breaking point for your love of watches?
Yeah, so I like from the time I was a kid, I always enjoyed having a watch on my wrist, but it was more the kind of thing I would usually break it or scratch it up or lose it or something. Or I had one that I think I actually wore the battery out, and then but after that they're kind of disposable. And then eventually I got a cell phone, and that kind of replaced my watch. I didn't wear a watch for a long time, but I kind of started getting sucked back in it when the whole smartwatch craze started.
Mm.
So I got a smartwatch. I started wearing that. I just loved having the time on my wrist again and how convenient it was. But I had like this little Pebble smartwatch. I don't know if you guys remember, that was one of the earlier ones that came out with
Yeah.
the cheap digital display. And I wore it all the time, but it looked terrible whenever I had to dress nicely. It just didn't fit. So I figured, okay, so I like wearing the watch now, but I need to get like a dress watch or something. So I did a minimal amount of research online, and I went out and I purchased an MVMT. Um,
Ooh, this podcast just went up in
thing.
flames.
Yeah,
Ooh-wee.
yeah. So their marketing's great, right?
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
read
Oh
reviews
yeah.
and stuff. They got these good reviews, but I love the watch. It was just a simple classic dress watch. It was thin, it was comfortable, it looked 100 times better than my little smartwatch, and I could wear it when I was dressed up and stuff. And it was kind of like my nice watch, but that sort of got me more interested in well, what else is out there. I think I started watching the Urban Gentry on YouTube a lot,
Yeah.
and that kind of opened my eyes to more of the watch world and started getting more interested in it. And then just little by little, I started thinking, well, maybe I want to save up and get a watch. So I think it was also watching the Time Teller with Jory.
Jory.
Yeah, Jory.
Jory Goodman.
Chan.
Yep.
Yeah, and he recommended the Nighthawk on there, and I thought that was a really cool one. So I kind of saved up and got that. And so it was just sort of like one little step at a time. And the YouTube channel played a big role in that too. Like I had always wanted to, like have a watch collection, but I had really low budget. So it was kind of like, with the little amount of, funds that I had set aside for watches, I could only afford affordable pieces, and I couldn't afford that many of them. So I had to find ways to sort of stretch out my videos. So I couldn't do like a review every week. I was trying to find other ideas. So I'd talk about watch topics and things, and just mostly what I was learning in the process of, figuring out myself. And I figured, if I'm a new collector and there was all these things that I didn't know and I was trying to figure out, so I do a lot of research, and I was excited when I'd find the answer. So I'd make a video about whatever it was, whether it was, about discovering NATO straps for the first time or what the water resistance is actually meant, all that totally entry level stuff. But yeah, it seems like there's a lot of people that are kind of like where I was 2 years ago or where I am now that are looking for that on YouTube, and maybe not as many channels focused on sort of beginners and affordables. So yeah, it seems like that's been a sort of a good little niche to find.
That's awesome. Well, you
Cool.
hit a few good points because, like you said, I mean, you can only own so many watches because you're not rich. So you're like, well, what am I going to talk about? So you start talking about topics or showing lists. And I noticed with the YouTube algorithm, I don't know if you guys noticed this too, Teddy Baldessar. I mean, that guy, he didn't really review a lot of watches. He was always doing lists, right? The best is, the worst is. And that thing just like, boom, it took him to another level. Jory too, Jory Goodman. I mean, he does some reviews, but for the most part, it's just him ranting about different things. And it's like, crazy. Maybe P, you and I should start doing the same thing, man. Just ranting about things.
Start ranting.
Just
ranting
making lists.
Anything.
Just make. If you can think up an interesting topic like that, like I subscribe to every watch channel I can find, but like 90% of them are watch reviews, and there's only so many others you want to watch. I find myself I'm a lot more interested if someone's doing a topic that's sort of about something I'm thinking on. I'm a lot more likely to click on that. And actually, lately I've seen like YouTube. A lot of the videos that aren't reviews tend to get more popular. So I think you got to have a balance of both.
Got
I
it.
think if I just abandoned doing reviews altogether, then that would be, I wouldn't be, understanding watches as much. And I think there's people that want the reviews and want to see that. So you kind of got off a little bit of everything. But I think having a good balance of like some of these are watch reviews, but some of these are just interesting topics or experiments or whatever. For me, that's what I found. It seems to be the best way to go.
Awesome. Well, let me
Cool.
ask you something off topic, and this wasn't even on my list. I'm sorry. I'm just
Sure.
kind of thinking because this has been a point of contingency for me, and P knows this very well. When you got into watch collecting, right? So you bought your first cool watch, but then you got the bug, right? You're like, I need another one, and I need another one, and I need another. It's an addiction, really. What do your wife think about this? Was she cool with this? Did she tell you, hey, man, you pump the brakes on this? Or
Yeah. So I don't know if this is how everybody does it, but my wife manages our finances. Okay.
My wife
So
does
she
too.
balances all the books and everything, and she says, okay, so we've each of us get $50 a month for whatever we want. We can take that money and do whatever we want with it. So that was really the constraint that I started with. But then it was like, okay, so like Christmas came up, and I'd ask friends or family for either watches, or if they gave me cash or something. I sort of pool all that together to try and get a couple of watches together to start the channel and to start, so I wanted, to start with like that basic 3-watch collection. So I had like the Citizen Nighthawk as a daily watch, but then I wanted to get a dress watch. So I got like a cheap little Acrobos 24 and used that as my dress watch for a while. And I wanted a beater watch, and I found like this Nixon Baja on eBay for like $26 or something like that. So just trying to find like super good values and stretch the little bit of money that I had. And then as I got more watches, I had to do a lot of buying and selling. So I wouldn't be able to have many watches at the same time. I'd kind of have to buy one, review it, play with it for a while, sell it at a loss, and then buy something different. I've been able to stay mostly within that constraint. I think at one point I had, I used to play HeroScape. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. It's like a tabletop gaming thing that I had a pretty big collection from before I got married. And I wasn't doing anything. So I eventually sold that off, and it turned out it had increased in value because it had gotten discontinued. So I got a little influx of cash from that, and I used that to buy some watches. But yeah, I was mostly just trying to be kind of, stretch the little bit of cash as far as I could. And then eventually, as the channel grew, that started generating a little bit of income, and then that's made it a lot easier to get the watches that I'm interested in taking a look at. So now it's a little bit of a challenge, because I think at first, because I had those hard constraints on where I'd spend the money, my wife was totally fine with it. But now the channel's getting bigger, and the money coming in from that is a little bit more significant. So now I'm really trying to think through it. So, do I really want to spend this money on watches, or should we save it for family emergencies, or vacations, or kids' education, or retirement? I mean, I'm not making a lot of money, but it's getting to the point where, it is something to consider now. That I feel like, if I just spent everything on watches, that might not be the best use of it. So yeah, we've been having more of those conversations lately, and just trying to figure out, especially if the channel does keep growing, it might increase more, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
That's pretty cool. And something you didn't mention that I noticed that obviously you review a lot of these guys. It's like Spinnaker and some other watches. So now that you're big enough, people want you to review their watch, right? And they give it to you for free, right? So
that helps a lot too. Yeah. So yeah, I think once I hit around a little bit over, I think when I hit around 1,000 subscribers, I started getting like strap companies interested in sending me straps. And then when I got closer to 2,000, I started asking around, and I think Spinnaker's great about that. They really work with a lot of YouTubers, and they're really
except for me.
Yeah, but they're interested in, I think, getting their watches out to as many people and reviewers as they can. But I think I was around 2,000 subscribers when they started sending me stuff.
That's pretty cool. And they're the most. And they let you do whatever you want with them, right? Just review them, and then you can sell them. Or
they review them, and so mostly I've given them to I have 7 brothers and sisters.
Ooh.
A big fan I come from, and so I've been trying to give like all my brothers and brothers-in-laws watches to try and spread it around a little bit, try and get them hooked in. So that's mostly what I've done. I haven't sold any of them yet, but that's eventually probably what I'll hold on to them for a while in case I need to use them for videos. But then
that's cool.
Yeah, maybe try and eBay some of them too.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's awesome. You hear that, P? That's our aspiration right there. It's like,
Yeah, it's like
Yes,
kind of
sir.
little milestones that you hit that sort of keep you going. And interesting.
yeah, no, I agree, man. Well, since we're talking about affordable pieces, obviously we got to talk about this snobs. I mean, as much as I hate talking about this, we kind of have to because we're in a space that really is dominated by luxury. I at least feel
Yeah.
that way. Cartier, Omega, Rolex, whatever, Patek, AP. So I guess really what I want to get your opinion on two things. So basically, what's your opinion on snobs? But furthermore, want to switch the roles and what's your opinion on reverse snobs? Because there are those people that own affordable pieces and look down on people that own more
Yeah.
expensive stuff. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, so I kind of want to be a little careful on that. I think the whole snob thing is bad.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a snob, don't be a snob.
Right.
But I do want to be careful, like how you define what a snob is too. Like I think people can have differing opinions. They
True.
can, if someone wants to tell me, hey, you shouldn't be spending your money on affordable watches, and they have a good reason and a valid point, I want to hear that and have those discussions. I think that's fun. But if they come at it like, with the attitude of, you're like, I don't know, an idiot for collecting these watches, and I'm, this great rich guy who's got these expensive watches, and so I'm better than you. That's annoying. No one wants to hear that,
Correct.
and it's not really having a conversation with someone who wants to do that. And I've kind of started seeing that when I put out that last video about collecting affordable watches. You
Yeah.
started getting some people like that come out of there, and there was a mix. There were some people that were commenting, and they had, they wanted to talk about it. They wanted to give their reasons for why they thought, affordable watches weren't worth collecting, and it was good to interact with them and to hear that perspective. Yeah, then there were other guys that were basically like, if you don't have $50,000 to build a watch collection, you shouldn't be buying watches. And I'm like, well, I don't.
That's so dumb.
Yeah,
That's one of the stupidest reasons I ever heard.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but there are guys like that. So I
Yeah.
definitely say that guy. Those kind of people are snobs, and yeah, not really worth having much of a conversation with. But yeah, I think that there are people that can be from the luxury side that they might say they don't like your collection or something, but if they have, if they're reasonable about it and they want to talk about it, then sure, yeah, let's talk and let's have a conversation.
Now, what's your opinion on the reverse snobs? People that have affordable pieces and talk bad about the guys that have expensive pieces. Obviously, it's jealousy, but
Right, yeah, kind of the same thing. I think usually that's just jealousy coming out, and that's annoying too to deal with and to hear. But yeah, I mean, you don't see that quite as often. I think usually the affordable guys are pretty reasonable, and most of them would love to have afford or love to have luxury watches. But yeah, I think the same thing with that is like there are a lot of people that were commenting on this latest video that were saying, yeah, I would never buy a luxury watch because I think it's a waste of money. But I feel like most of them were coming from they're thinking their own perspective, and I think most people think if you can afford it and it's not going to like send you into debt or something, then yeah, go ahead, and that's where your lifestyle's at. It's not much of a problem with it.
well, I had a guy recently, so I did the Pagani design, right? I did the unboxing. I haven't even done the review because I've been so busy, but that thing is out there and it's generating some views, some comments, and some guy just basically came at me, and he's not at me, but basically said, I would never spend $9,000 on a Rolex. That is dumb. I think buying an homage that looks like it is the better value, and you're stupid if you buy it. And it was just he was so set in his face, and it's like,
right.
I told him, I said, look, an homage watch is cool, but you can't really present it that way, and it's like you got to see value and respect both senses. It's like buying a car. Like you have money for a Mercedes, go for it. But if you don't and you want something that looks like it, then it's cool, but don't be talking smack about the guy that owns a Mercedes, So because obviously you bought something because you like that car. You can't afford it, that's a different story, but don't be talking down on it, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that I like, right? And you don't see me talking down on Patek and Lamborghinis or stuff like that. I love them, but I can't afford them, but I'm not going to talk bad about them,
Yeah, I think even if you don't think it's a wise investment, you should be able to appreciate what goes into them, and I think I think being able to at least appreciate the craftsmanship and design of luxury watches really helps you even understand what you want in affordable watches. And so yeah, I think that luxury watches are amazing. I don't think I would ever buy one, but I still really appreciate them, and I can see why people would.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of think we all trying to get to the same place. whether it's luxury or affordable.
Yeah.
So I don't even understand why people talk so silly. So
Yeah.
you know, and speaking of luxury watches, would you be willing to sell your entire collection for one luxury piece? And what would that luxury piece be?
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it kind of depends. Like I was trying to add up like I think my collection right now at retail would maybe top out around 1,500, and that's not what I paid for it. Some of them I got for free for reviews, but most of them I try and find, you know, either buy used or gray market or on sale. So I spent a lot less than that. But you know, if it was like, so there's not that many luxury watches at the $1,500 price point. So if you want to trade my collection for a Rolex, yeah, sure, I'm there. You know, hands down, I'll take it. But if you're taking dollar for dollar, you know, I would my collection over a single like $1,500 watch. Yeah, I mean, like in that price range, there's like some pieces from Oris that I'm really interested in. I like the Oris Big Crown Pointer Date.
Very nice.
It's a really cool watch. I've been kind of interested in the Longines Conquest, particularly the GMT model. Yeah, some of those might be tempting, but I think I would stick with having the collection and having the variety and just the different ones. 'Cause, you know, I really enjoy a lot of the pieces that I have. Yeah, so I think I would stick with my little box of watches over something of equal value. If you want to give me a true luxury watch or something like that that's worth a lot more, yeah, I'll go for it. But yeah,
well, I was
Absolutely.
in the same boat, and actually, P and I were considering the same thing because we've been talking back and forth, you know, about our collections. And P's collection is huge. He has everything from every brand, and I only have not that many, but yeah, we were talking about that, and like, hey, if we had the opportunity to basically sell our collection, how much money would we get, and what would we buy, and will we be satisfied with that, or will we miss them? You know what I mean? So
yeah. Yeah, I was pretty impressed with Pete's collection because I found him on YouTube when he started reviewing Watch Gang watches. You know, like the entry level ones.
Yeah.
And most people who are doing that are first getting into watches. So that's kind of what I assumed at first. And then every once in a while he'd start pulling out, you know, like a Tissot or an Omega. And I'd be like, whoa, who is this guy?
Right.
He's got a Watch Gang subscription, but then he's also got these, you know, all these amazing pieces that are coming out of nowhere. So like, oh, it's a little bit more serious than I gave him credit for at first.
What P has is a very bad addiction. I think we all do, but he executes on it a little bit more often.
It's better to have that addiction than any other addiction.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll give you that, man.
So,
but well, I mean, we talked about that one luxury piece, but do you have a grill piece, and what is it? And you know, if money wasn't an object, what would you get?
Yeah, I really don't right now. Like the idea of having a grail piece that I know I'll never be able to afford. Again, it's like I keep saying, it's like if I won the lottery, but I don't even play the lottery. Someone would have to give me a lottery ticket, and then I have to win, and then I might consider, you know, going out and buying a $15,000 watch. But yeah, it would have to be something with a GMT.
Come on, Dave, give us something.
Give us something.
Yeah. So, like, my original one was the Rolex Explorer 2. Okay. Like, out of all the Rolexes, that's the one that I probably like the most.
Polar dial or
that's
black
nice.
dial?
That's nice.
Polar dial. I like the Polar dial one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be pretty high up there. But, yeah, other than that, I'm still kind of looking around. You know, like, I like the Omega Aqua Terra a lot, too. That one's pretty cool. I'm not even sure. See, I hardly even look at the luxury end that much because it's just not even something I'm really thinking I'll ever get. But you guys know they make an Aqua Terra GMT? Have they done a GMT version of the Aqua Terra?
I believe they have. Where's Fred when you need him?
Right.
Something like that would be cool if they even had one. Yeah. So those are some of the ones that I've really liked the design of and been interested in. Well, but yeah, definitely with the GMT function. That's my favorite complication.
I'm surprised you didn't say Grand Seiko. I mean, you're in Japan. I seriously.
That's high up there too, and that's something that was not on my radar at all. Like I heard when I first started collecting, I heard that Seiko would sell $5,000 watches. Like, why would anybody want a $5,000 Seiko?
Right.
But yeah, I started looking at it, and the more I see, like, okay, yeah. And the cool thing about that for me is that it's like nobody knows what it is. So like that's part of it. Like I don't even necessarily like the image of wearing a luxury watch. Sometimes I'd rather something not be something that everyone stares at. So yes, like a Grand Seiko, I think would be cool in that respect. It was not as well known.
It's beautiful, man. I mean, I've actually been looking at the vintage Grand Seiko. Obviously, it's not like the new Grand Seikos, but they're kind of affordable. They start off in like the $500-$600 range, so it's not crazy, you know. The new ones, of course, are a little bit more, but yeah,
they're a little
Grand Seiko and Dave hit a pretty good point. A lot of people that want a luxury watch, they don't want to be flaunting things. They don't want people to know that their watch is expensive for various reasons, and I respect that. Grand Seiko is a perfect brand to basically go under the radar, but you have great quality and it's a great value proposition, right? So Grand Seiko's amazing. I love that. Everything they represent, they've been doing. It's awesome. But
I think some of the stuff I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know how long they're going to be under the radar for, because they're really, really upping up their marketing game and reaching out to a bunch of people and doing events. Like they just did the Godzilla event over here in LA, and they're all over the place. So they're definitely expanding. More people are getting to know who Grand Seiko is. So it's going to take years, of course, for them to be known. But anyways, I think they're awesome watches.
Yeah. And I really think they positioning themselves like as really the next luxury piece, because I think 2020 they're gonna have some heavy hitters.
I think so.
Yeah, the finishing and the technology that they put into it with their movements and stuff is incredible.
But it's funny because a lot of people that love Rolex and love those brands, they talk good about Grand Seiko, but at the same time they go, well, are they truly mechanical because they have a spring drive? And it's like, oh my God, are we really going to get into this? Like, just enjoy the watch for what it is. I honestly feel, and I'm just throwing this out there, people are probably going to come out with their pitchforks out, but I feel the people that buy watches in a more affordable range, kind of like us three, I think we look at watches for the value of them, and we really do appreciate watches for what they are. And a lot of people, unfortunately, in the luxury sector, and it's true, they're looking at the brand. They're looking at, well, what are people going to think of me? How am I going to be perceived if I walk in with a Rolex or a Patek? So yeah, I'm not saying they don't appreciate the craftsmanship and stuff like that, but I feel like us, the budget guys, we really, really do our due diligence before even pulling the trigger on $70, $80. And I'm just speaking from experience, before I bought that Pagani design, I wasn't going to buy it. I'm against homage watches, but I gave it a chance because of all the specs that it had. And I saw the value proposition there, So I bought it. It's still in the collection, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying that people that collect Rolex, Grand Seiko don't know what they're buying. I just feel that us in this little kind of sector, this little market, we kind of, I guess, admire watches more. I don't even know how to place it, but
yeah, I feel like that too. I feel like of guys who buy affordable watches look a lot closer at movements, whether it's quartz, mechanical, or automatic, whatever.
Right.
But versus someone that just says, okay, I'm going to buy a Rolex for status.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think we definitely look at watches a little bit different.
I can't tell you the number of times that so here in California, obviously, people have a lot of money. It depends where you go, whatever. People have a lot of money. So I know a few people with heavy hitters, right? For instance, two of my bosses, one of them owns a Rolex Datejust, a two-tone, and his son owns a Patek Philippe. I don't know the reference number. I forget, but it's all diamond out and everything. And he does. He owns a Hulk too. But they're not into watches. They just buy them for the looks of it and for the status. And that's what I'm saying. They would never be caught dead with a Seiko. But then again, they're not watch people, so I'm confusing the two worlds. But bottom line, I just feel that we appreciate watches a little bit more. Maybe that's not true.
I think
whatever.
And you know what? That's not to say that someone who's into luxury watches don't appreciate.
Right, and that's
you know what I mean.
So this is like kind of a hard subject. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth because I know a lot of friends in the industry that own really nice watches. So I'm like I said, you can't put everybody in a box. I'm just saying generally, So
yeah, you got people in both categories. Yeah, you got some people that are into luxury watches that they're in it for the status, but there's others that are in it for the hobby and the craftsmanship and the same thing with the affordable watches. There's a lot of guys that they just like watches and they buy lots of watches that they like without much thought about what goes on behind them. And I think again that's where the whole snob thing comes in. Is to a point, just letting people do what they enjoy, and talking with them about it, but not looking down on them necessarily for those choices.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So let me put you on the spot before P asks the next question. If somebody came to you, your brother, let's say he doesn't really know much about watches, but he's like, you know what, I want to get into this whole watch collecting game. I have $350 to spend. Would you recommend would you recommend one watch, or would you recommend like three watch collection?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I'm putting you on the spot. There's no right or wrong answers. I just want to know your thoughts.
I think you got 350 up front. I would maybe push him towards a 2-watch collection.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, the 350 you can get a pretty good watch for. But yeah, it would depend on which brother or brother-in-law we're talking about. So one of my brother-in-law is in finance, so he wears a suit every day. So I'd maybe recommend a dress watch to him. But another brother's more into sports and stuff, so he might be into something more like a diver or a field watch, something a little bit more rugged. Trying to figure out what would fit their personality the best. But then having that, and then like a backup. So like for my brother, I'd recommend, who's into sports, maybe like a diver and a cheap dress watch. But for my brother-in-law who's into finance, maybe a dress watch and a Casio digital watch for the times he needs a beater.
Well,
that's I think I would start it.
That's cool. Well, the reason I asked this is because I recently had a really close friend to me ask me a similar question. He didn't give me a budget, but he's like, "Well, man, I'm not into watches like you are, but I definitely wanna spend my money wisely." He's like, I wanna wear something that people that know watches are gonna look at my wrist and not make fun of me. So because he told me the same thing. He's like, Miguel, have you seen these movement watches? They're like really cool. He's like, but I want to come to you because I know you're a watch guy. What do you think about them? And I told him, I said straight up, I said, hey man, they look awesome, but they're garbage. They have this Chinese movement in it, and you're being overcharged. To be honest with you, I mean, you could buy one for $10, $15, I don't know. But if you really want to be respected, let me start building your collection, right? He's like, okay, cool. So he started off. He's like, well, I have, I don't know, $50 to spend. What do you recommend? Timex Weekender. He bought it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I love this thing. This is awesome. I'm ready to pull the trigger on something else. What can I get? I want something kind of like this. And he sends me pictures of what he kind of likes, and they're always these like fashion looking things. I'm like, oh god. Yeah. So I recommended the Seiko. I forget the it was a battery. It was a quartz operated one, but it was a chronograph. $90 on it, $80 on it. He loved it. He's like, okay, he got addicted. Like within a matter of like a month and a half, he was hitting me up all the time. And I'm like, okay, man, you could slow down. I know what you're going through, but you need to slow down because then you're gonna be spending $500. Look back, get into watches like I am, and be like, why did I buy all these things? But oh, sorry, I thought you were gonna say something. Well, the last watch that he just purchased is the Orient Ray 2. Because he's like, okay, tell me. He's like, I like this watch. I don't even know what you call it, but it's all blacked out. It's super cool. I was like, oh, that's a diver. That's a diver style watch. Let me get you something similar. So I started looking around. They actually have the Orient Ray 2, all blacked out. Super cool. Joma shop. I'm like, jump on this. He paid like $150, something. He got it. And this is his text. This is his text message. Miguel, how do you get this thing going? Does it have a battery? And I'm like, oh god. And I'm like, all right, let's get on the phone. So I explained to him about mechanical watches. He's like, wait, what do you mean? So I have to like move my hand, or I'm like, okay, so and it's so hard, right? Because I have so much information in my head that I'm like and I'm like, no, this guy's a beginner. Like I need to like dumb it down, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the Calibron 9. I'm like, no, this is manual wind, which is awesome. I have an SKX that's more expensive than that. And unfortunately, it doesn't even, it doesn't hack. It doesn't wind. He's like, what do you mean hack? What do you mean? So anyways, long story short, he has a 3-piece collection. He has a Timex, a Seiko, and an Orient. That's all he has. And now he started getting into NATO straps. So he saw my latest collaboration with Mora. He's like, hey, can you get me some? I'm like, wow, oh my god, man, here we go with this guy. So that's why I asked him, because it's like as watch guys, once the word gets out there, people are gonna randomly hit you up. They're just gonna put you on the spot and be like, hey, what do you recommend? I have this money, or what do you think about this, or hey, check this out. So I'm just telling and warning everybody out there listening to this, if you're into watches and you start spreading the news that you're into watches, people are gonna come to you and think you're the expert. Even though you may feel like you're not. Like, I don't feel like an expert at all. I mean, I just know the bare minimum about, well, okay, maybe a little bit more than the bare minimum, but I'm a nobody, to be giving financial advice or something. Is this a good investment? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the fun part of this. We get the chance to get new people into it that don't know anything. Again, that's where I was like 2 years ago. I was about that point.
Yeah.
That's as guys who have YouTube channels. That's one of the fun things that we get is it's great to be able to do it to our friends, but we also get the chance to do it to
a bunch of
whoever
people, right?
else.
Yeah,
trying to hit up the line, trying to find the stuff out. So I think that's a good, good part of being in this YouTube thing.
Yeah, well, it's funny.
Yeah, I know. I done got a couple people into it, and they just kind of look at me like I know everything and I don't know squat. You know what I mean? Like right. Okay, like it may sound good, but oh wow.
But compared to them, you are right. That's like
right. Yeah, for sure.
Like just the amount of knowledge that guys like us have compared to the general population. Because most people they don't even know what a mechanical watch is anymore. And if you haven't done any research or played around with it, it's just not the kind of thing you pick up. So I think guys like us, we can have a lot to offer to the newbies like that. That's great.
Well, it's funny because now that you mention that, it kind of puts things into perspective for me, and I think for Pete too, because we kind of forget, right? Because we forget that YouTube just throws videos out there randomly. We keep thinking that people follow our show religiously, almost like it's like a sitcom, right? Like, this is the next episode. Where did I leave off? We forget that people come into this and they go, "Whoa, this is above what I know. I don't know." So you're right. Maybe P and I should put some how-to videos out there or things that we recommend, and just for like newbies to get them involved, but get them started the right way, because we don't want to get them started in the wrong way.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is garbage. That's garbage. Invicta's garbage. Look, as much as I clown on Invicta, and P knows this, as much as I clown on them and everything, I respect every watch brand out there except Movement, but. Invicta has its place in the market, man. I mean, everybody has different tastes, and some of their stuff is really weird, but they have the Pro Diver, and they have heritage before they got bought out and they went on QVC, but they had history at one point, so
I've seen some pretty sweet Invictas on Pete's channel, so wouldn't be bad mouthing too much now.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's funny seeing also, and I hate to put you on the spot here, P, but it's seeing the evolution of P ever since we started talking and everything. I'm seeing the evolution of him as a collector. And that's what happens as a watch collector, and I think you both could attest to that. You start kind of graduating a little bit and looking at things a little bit different and wanting something different, not necessarily in the price range of something more expensive, but maybe better finishing, maybe better movement. Because when we first started, let's be honest, it's all about the looks of the watch. We don't really know about the movement and the beats and the this and the, I didn't know. It looks cool, I'm gonna get it. But now, as a collector, and like I said, you take the journey, you go through different things. And I'm gonna be honest, when I first started collecting, I looked down on quartz watches. I was like, oh God, that's garbage. Yeah, it's quartz. Oh, it's garbage. Ridiculous. It's not. It's a cool technology. It's a technology that basically bankrupt a bunch of Swiss companies. So you tell me how it's garbage.
Oh yeah.
It's not. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So
and speaking of Swiss, you are in Japan, which could really be considered one of the meccas of, the watch industry. Considering you got Seiko,
Citizen.
You got Citizen.
Places right now.
So what is the watch scene like there in Japan?
Yeah, so it's kind of hard for me because I live like in a little rural fishing village in the middle of nowhere. So where I am, there's not a big watch scene out here. So most of my stuff I buy online. But yeah, I mean, like one thing is it's interesting. It feels like more people wear watches here in Japan than in the States. Like whenever I go back to the States, all I see are either cell phones or Apple watches.
Right.
Right.
Here, yeah, I see a lot of Casio. Like everybody wears Casio out here, but yeah, even more expensive stuff. I've seen Rolexes and different things on people's wrists. A lot of Seikos. Yeah, so that was one thing that's interesting. It's just kind of seeing a lot more people wearing wristwatches and using them.
Mm.
Uh, like as a budget collector, I was blown away to just start browsing around on Amazon and seeing how many amazing affordable pieces Orient has over here. Like some of the stuff makes it over to the U.S., but there's like so many things I'd never even heard of. It's like every time I get on Amazon, I'm just like holding my hand back from
Mm.
Yeah.
our watch that's got all these amazing specs that I'd never imagined or knew existed. So that's cool. Um, yeah, but I'd like to kind of get into it more. I don't know any. I don't have any Japanese friends over here that are like super into watches. Yeah, it might. I'm still learning Japanese. It's hard for me to just like walk up and start talking about watches to someone off the street or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, that'd be something I'd be interested in doing, is trying to get to know some people here who are into watches if I can find them. And again, we're kind of it's mostly fishermen over in my town, so
Well, let me
see how many of them are into watches.
let me expand on that question that P just asked, because here in the States, the notion or the perceived, I guess not value, but what people, when people say Seiko, you think budget, you think cheap, you think it's okay, they're entry level, whatever. But how is Seiko perceived in Japan? Is it different because it's a Japanese company?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of respect for Seiko over here. I think,
Okay.
yeah, that's definitely one of the most popular ones that I see. And yeah, when I go to like the mall and stuff and swing by a watch store, they always have really prominent Seiko displays. So yeah, I think that they look down on it less here than over in the States. And yeah, they have a lot of really high end models that are out there. So I think at least when it comes to Seiko, people are more aware of where in the market they are. They don't consider them just like a cheap, budget only watch brand.
Mm.
Well, that's a segue for my next question, which I'm really torn about, and I know P is as well, and that's basically Seiko trying to move up market. I mean, the Alpinist just came out, right? I mean, they used to sell it for what, 350, maybe, yeah, like sub $400. Now the new Alpinist, it has just a little better movement in it, and of course it has some little bells and whistles. But now they want $700 for it, and it's like, okay, what's going on with that? So what are your feelings on that? Because I'll let you go first.
Okay, yeah, I'm a little torn about that. Like on the one hand, especially with the Alpinist, I love the new versions that are coming out, like the white and the black one. I just think it's so cool.
Yeah.
So now I want it, but then then looking at the price tag, it's like that's pushing it a little bit. I I don't think it bothers me too much. It's like it's just got you kind of reframe your perspective of where you're going to look for a super good deal. And so now, like when I'm looking at Seiko, it's more like, okay, so maybe I'll try and get one kind of decent one into the collection at some point. It's not going to be something that I'm going to be able to build my collection on because I can't afford it. But they do have some really nice pieces and a lot of history and heritage. So I'm looking at a lot of the Presage lines, the new Presages that have been coming out. Their dress watch, I think are pretty cool. And so like getting something like that might be, somewhere down the line, I might go for that. And then, for affordable watches, I just don't even really look at Seiko for that anymore. Now I'm looking more towards Orient. And again, like especially here in Japan, there's so many affordable Orient watches. Even the Orient Star line is coming down in price. A lot of sellers and stuff.
How is Orient perceived over there in Japan?
I'm not sure. I think it is. It's definitely more well known here than in America, but I don't see as many people wearing Orient watches. But just going by online reviews and stuff, they seem to be pretty well liked. I think we had our life insurance agent come by one time, and I noticed he was wearing an Orient Star watch, and he was all dressed up in a suit and everything. So I thought, that's interesting to see that. Yeah. But they seem to be definitely more well known than in the States. But yeah, maybe not as big as like Seiko or Casio. I think is definitely the one that I see most often on the streets here.
Yeah, well, Casio's
Casio, great
huge.
brand, great
Yeah,
brand.
Yeah.
Casio's definitely
Yeah.
definitely one of my favorites, and I think we all have them in our collection. But obviously, they're the affordable pieces. But we'll make a whole episode about Casios and
Yeah.
maybe the military and firefighters and stuff like that, because definitely it's like the favorite of them. But let me tell you my thoughts about Seiko moving up market. So in a way is good, in a way is bad. In a way is good because I have Seikos in my collection. So I feel now that same watch may be worth a little bit more in the future. Maybe. So that comes from a financial
Yeah.
standpoint. Now, they build so many SKXs. Is it really going to go up? Maybe not. So many SARBs, you can still pick them up new. Maybe not. But maybe the people will start having a different opinion about Seiko and not looking at them like affordable entry pieces. Maybe they'll look at Orient. Well, they've always looked at Orient that way, right? But I'll give you an example for the Alpinist. I just think they're overcharging people just because it's a Prospex sign and now it has a little magnifying glass and it has a better movement. Number one, I don't like that magnifying glass. I like it on a Rolex because that's very Rolex, kind of like a Mercedes hand on a watch. It's like, well, that's Rolex, I mean, it's not. You think of Rolex, right, when you see that. So one thing I really loved about Seiko for such a long time and Grand Seiko is how original their designs are, right? They're different from everything else. But with that magnifying glass, I just feel like I don't know, like they're trying to be almost an homage piece or something. I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong. That's just my feelings. And $700. I mean, the reason I'm upset about them moving up market, it's the same reason Dave said. I can't afford them anymore, And if I did have $700, would I buy that Alpinist, or would I buy
Absolutely not.
something else? Would I buy something Swiss? Would I save up a little more and get an Oris, right? Or something vintage? I mean, there's so many great values out there, and believe it or not, I don't know how familiar you guys are with like Gerard Perigo. It's a great Swiss brand. It has history. Some models sell for a lot of money. If you go online, you can find vintage ones for in the hundreds, and they're made out of gold. So, would
Right.
that get you more kudos with collectors? Maybe than a Seiko. I would think so. Maybe a vintage Bulova, an Accutron. That will get you
Right.
definitely kudos from collectors. And furthermore, I mean, there's so many companies coming out with really cool things. I know Seiko. I've seen some of their newer models, and a lot of their divers actually are coming out with ceramic bezels and sapphire crystals, which is cool because they listen to the community. But guess what? They want to charge you an arm and a leg from now.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
not getting a diver for $300 no more. Now they want $500-600 from them, and it's like, okay, just give me the cheap one, and I'll get an aftermarket bezel and an aftermarket crystal, and I'll just modify it myself. I don't know. But those are my feelings. So, so P, anything else you want to ask, watch related, before we move on to other things where we discuss just other things aside from
Uh,
watches?
nah. I just want to thank Dave for everything that he's done for us.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
you know,
Well, thank you guys
it's
for
been.
invite me out to talk to this is a lot of fun.
No, this is a lot of fun. And this is the reason, honestly, Dave, why we started the podcast, because when you do a video, and I think you guys could attest to this, it's you, your camera, your thoughts, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to edit and do this and then put it out, and then you wait patiently to see what people think about your video, right? But with this podcast thing, it's just friends talking about watches, and it's super cool because Dave's in Japan, I'm in California, and Peace in Ohio. Three
Yeah.
completely different places, right?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
got to be getting a little late at night for you, Pete. What time is it over there?
Oh man, so it's 10 till 1.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's 9:46 my
Yes, sir.
time. And Dave, you're Monday morning, right?
Yeah, afternoon. It's 2:45 in the afternoon.
Okay,
Oh
cool.
wow.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for jumping with us. But yeah, let's talk other things so we can let you go. I know you have your little one and he's sick. My little boy's sick too, so I know what that's like. So we'll let you go first, Dave. You want to talk about other things, anything you want to recommend, food, movie, whatever.
Oh man. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for this section. Why don't I let you guys go
P
first? I'll try to think
P
of
P
something.
go first.
Uh, what I got? The Clone War, Star Wars. Uh, episode. I mean, no. season 7 of the Clone Wars is coming out on Disney Plus starting next month. You know what I'm saying? I finally saw the trailer for it. I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous
that,
because Disney Plus hasn't launched in Japan yet, so I'm still waiting on that one.
really?
See, that
I
would.
was I was
Oh
back
wow!
I was back in the U.S. for a couple days actually it was for a funeral, but I got to see a couple episodes of The Mandalorian while I was there.
Oh,
Kind of got hooked,
Oh,
but then I couldn't see the rest of it. So.
did you get a chance to
the
see
man.
Baby Yoda yet?
I Baby Yoda. So it's like I had been seeing all the memes. I had no idea what they were from. I was like, what is this? Where'd this Baby Yoda come from?
Baby Yoda.
And it was like, oh, there it is. Okay.
There he is.
Baby
Oh
Yoda. He gonna
Take a
be the
picture.
hot new
Yeah,
craze.
no, I was surprised when he finally opened that box. It's like, it's Tim.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Well, let me go while Dave thinks of something. So today's actually it's Sunday, and what day is it today, guys? Help me. Well, not it's Monday for Dave, but it's the 26th.
It's 26th.
And we actually P and I recorded an episode this morning with our boy Fred, and now we had to do it at night to have Dave on. And in the afternoon, well, in the morning right after our podcast, it was some sad news, right? Kobe Bryant, his daughter,
Yeah.
some people just helicopter crash. So it's impactful. It's impactful for many different reasons. I mean, I'm not a Kobe fan, never, and I don't like sports, but nonetheless, you feel for those people. And furthermore, you just kind of analyze your own life and just say, you know what? You could have it all. You could be doing so well, or worry about yourself, take care of yourself financially and health, and you work out and everything, and then just on a split second, you're gone. So
yeah.
Well, I'm a Kobe fan. Kobe is easily top 3 greatest. You know what I mean? And it's really, really sad.
Yeah, it was shocking waking up this morning and seeing the news here.
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring awareness to that, and prayers and condolences to the family. Obviously, they're not listening to the podcast, but hey, if we all send our positive thoughts and prayers to them, let them heal.
But it's even sadder because his daughter was in a helicopter too.
Yeah,
13 years old.
13, right?
So,
yeah, that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. So. All right. Well, sorry. I don't want to end on a sad note. Dave, take it away. Tell us something positive, please.
Something positive. Yeah, so this is going to sound really nerdy, but the League of Legends professional spring split just started up, so I'm really excited about that. You guys watch professional video gaming at all?
Yeah. I've watched Overwatch.
Okay.
I watch a lot of the Mortal Kombat tournaments.
All right.
Street Fighter, Tekken.
Hey, respect.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I actually tried to participate in the Mortal Kombat 10 online tournament.
Really?
One time, and yeah, I got beat down
by a 9-year-old boy. I'm just kidding.
But I tried. So
that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, my original background was in computers. I'm a Baptist missionary, but before that I was in IT, and so I was all into computer games and all that growing up. And yeah, even
League of Legends is pretty big though.
Yeah, it's pretty big now. I kind of got out of computer games, and 2 of my little brothers sucked me back in, and so I started playing that a lot. I started watching professional.
Right.
So I love whatever the professional series starts up. It's a fun one to watch. So.
Oh yeah.
Big moves in the offseason, and the teams got shuffled around, so it's exciting to see what's coming out this year.
Because that Overwatch thing on Twitch I had watched last year was like awesome. I mean, it was spectacular.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Ooh. I'm curious. I'd like to play Overwatch. I need to upgrade my PC first, but see how that.
Well, that YouTube money's coming in now, Dave.
Yeah. I need it for video editing, right, guys?
Right. Hey, wife. Right. I need to make more money, so I need better equipment.
Yeah.
I thought you were editing. You're playing your video games again. What?
I'm gonna be a streamer now.
I'm gonna be the next. Well, what's that guy's name? The super famous guy. I don't know his name. The gamer guy on YouTube.
There's a whole bunch of them.
PewDiePie.
Yeah, I think he's the biggest individual YouTuber.
PewDiePie.
We're gonna be PewDiePie, guys. We're gonna have it. We'll have the 10 million subscribers or whatever. No, he's more than that now. I don't know how many.
Nah, PewDiePie
90.
42 million.
Yeah, it's way over.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Someday, guys, someday.
That just shows you how much people don't care about watches.
Man.
That's crazy. Well,
Got all
Dave,
sorts of to Minecraft.
yeah. Well, why don't you tell the people where they could find you? YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Yeah, YouTube, I'm Just The Watch, so it's youtube.com/Just The Watch, and then on Instagram, I'm at Just The Watch Dave. Yeah, those are the only socials I'm really that active on. So hit me up on either of those. If you want to talk to me, usually Instagram's the best way. Or comment on a video on YouTube. I try and get to those. Comment on one of the less popular ones, and you're more likely to get a response.
Right.
Yeah, when they take off, it's hard to keep up. But yeah, go back and find one of my obscure ones if you want to chat.
I bet. P.
Yo, Ross Wristwatch Love on everything. YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
All right. Sounds good. And we have. Did you say the Facebook group that we have? I don't. We have we got any?
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
that?
I've been uploading. I think I'm on the third podcast that I'm uploading on YouTube. I mean,
Okay.
I said on YouTube, on Facebook.
Okay.
Which is the SoCal Watch Reviews podcast page on Facebook. Check that out. You know what I'm saying?
I'll go check that. I didn't even know.
Yeah,
we're gonna be bottling out of control.
Yeah, we want to grow this year. And Dave, we do have a lot of collaborations coming up, and people we've been talking to, other podcasts. So it's exciting. And then this morning, I don't know if you got a chance to listen to that episode yet, but we made the announcement that Fred from Shaluso is actually the official third member of the podcast. So he's in India. Yeah, that guy is really, really into like all the luxury pieces, and he knows a lot about that.
There you go.
Yeah, so he brings the yin to the yang to the, we focus more on affordable things. We do talk expensive things, but this guy literally, he has connects that have all these crazy watches. And he's going to Dubai in February, so we're excited for him to get a bunch of information, get his hands on a bunch of crazy stuff in Dubai. So hopefully we'll have him report back to us in an episode, and I'm excited about that. But
cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. But you can find me YouTube, SoCal Watch Reviews, and then Instagram, SoCal Watch Reviews. So I'll reply back. I'm not that big, so I don't get a lot of comments. So I'll reply back to you. I'll like your comment, and I'll reply back. And if you want to have a healthy discussion about whatever, we could do it. I'm open to it. But Dave, thank you so much for taking the time to come on. I know it's kind of hard. You're playing daddy right now. Your little boy's sick, and you took the time to do this. So we really do appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, no, I had a great time. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, thanks Pete for staying up so late. Sorry to keep you up, but
no, it's all good. It's all good.
Sounds good, Dave. An open invitation here. So anytime you want to discuss anything, you want to do this again, let us know. More than happy to have you. And yeah, this has been fun. So thank you, Dave. Thank you, Pete.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, thank you guys.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. This has been episode 19 of the SoCal Watch Reviews podcast. And as always, stay humble, my friends.
Peace.
All right, we'll see you guys.
See you.
Peace.